The quiet after the climb. When there is no future self to chase. By Peak Afflatus. After completing my second book, Between Selves, I noticed a listlessness settling into my indecision. I had spent years excavating depression, aging, burnout, and the loss of ambition. Now even structure itself felt suspect. It wasn't that anything was wrong, it was that nothing was pulling me forward. Some time ago I met an old friend who had once been pivotal in bringing me to his country. He is gregarious and enigmatic, the kind of person whose enthusiasm sweeps others along. I was updating him on my fall from grace, admiring again the sparkle of his mind. As I leaned back across from him, I admitted I missed the excitement I had felt when I first moved here 20 years ago. The words caught in my throat. Before I knew it, I was welling up, and he was dashing off for another drink to give me a moment of composure. Where had the lust for life gone? The hunger for trajectory, the vitality of becoming. Over the following months, I began to understand that the vigor I missed had been the fuel that carried me here. I was no longer chasing an unfinished identity. I had arrived, and the tank was empty. I had mistaken coherence for an end state rather than a phase of development. I had lost trajectory-based meaning precisely because I was sitting at the summit, studying the path I had taken, with no gradient left to climb. We have a word for becoming. We have no word for having become. I look out at those still ascending, so visibly alive in their striving, and feel that I am missing something. I forget that the stillness I feel is not failure, but the cost of arrival. So much of modern life is organized around ascent, growth, goals, cultural checklists. We have mastered the language of climbing, but we have failed to model what comes after. I am not suggesting a handbook for the enlightened. I am talking about learning how to inhabit post-mission life. How many retirees followed the rulebook only to find themselves sitting at the same kitchen table each morning, staring through the same window, wondering what it was all for? They speak fondly of the project that once animated them. They spoil their grandchildren. They recount stories of youth, while those still mid-mission rarely hear the deeper sentiment. I had my time, and now all I have is memory. They stand on a plateau. There are no more climbs their bodies can be trusted with. Nothing left to prove. Identity fully formed, weathered and hardened like the geology around them. I know I am too young to be grieving my trajectory. There are more rungs ahead, more views to take in. And yet, having come to understand how I arrived here, part of me welcomes the continuity. A different kind of movement. Attention without urgency. Refinement without ambition. Watching rather than striving. Understanding rather than becoming. We have adolescence, we have adulthood, but what do we call the life that comes after becoming? I think of it as post-identity adulthood, a plateau phase in which the work of becoming is largely complete and the task of living shifts from construction to inhabitation. It seems to be an invisible mode when coherence has worn away the tread of our boots. It feels like loss when it may be evidence of greater assimilation. I need a new map for this post-identity adulthood. You have been listening to Peak Afflatus.